this little garden plot that was already tilled. And then I took my new hula hoe and broke up a bunch of the little weeds. And then I took my new shovel and I made some little trenches for aisles in case it rains a lot, which has been raining a lot, and so it helps prevent the flooding. And now we're going to measure it and maybe plant some stuff. So we just measured it and it's 16 by 34, and then I made a 3 foot, 4 foot, and a 6 foot bed. It's kind of what it just seemed like it was, so.
So here's the plan. We're gonna do pumpkins, sunflowers, zinnias, cosmos, basil, carrots, and tomatoes.
So I know it looks like nothing is growing, but it's been a couple of days. Today's Sunday. I watered them last night, and I've been finding some things. I know these are the zinnias. There's just a couple that are coming up, and then some sunflowers. So it's been 2 weeks since we planted some seeds in the garden plot, and I'm gonna go check on them. So here are the little cherry tomatoes. Here's the other one. It's hard to tell if it's grass or a carrot. I don't think any of the basil came up. We didn't mark exactly where it was, so I don't think it came up. But look at this Cosmo. It was just 2 little thingies, and now it's got the little explosion of leaves at the top. And there's another one. This middle bed is the one with all the zinnias in it, and you can see some here. We planted them in rows so you can see them in these groupings. I might have to thin this one. All 3 of these came up. And yeah, they're growing. You can see this is probably the biggest one, how big this one is. But there's still some smaller ones. There's some damage here. I'm still learning what, we're gonna encounter here. I'm not sure what type this looks like. And then we have in this bed the pumpkins and then the sunflowers. You can see the sunflowers. They're getting pretty big. There's 2 rows of them going down. And then the pumpkins, there's some really big leaves going on. There's some pretty small ones. And then there's some big ones. Some big old leaves. Wow. So this is some bigger sunflowers. There's a little bit of damage. This is a cucumber. Over here. A little bit of damage. It's now been 5 weeks since we planted the garden, and I'm going to go water it. So we'll take a look. A lot of stuff has grown, and a lot of it has been eaten by a woodchuck. Here's the cherry tomato plant. It's not super big, maybe like 2 hands high, but look, first flower! And then there's more up there. I mean, who knows if we get anything off of this, but it's still fun. It's growing. And here's its buddy, Tiny. I think. So these are the carrots. We'll probably get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if we're lucky. Here is the amaretto basil. Look! I thought that it wasn't growing, but then I also figured it was too hot for it, but it just kind of waited it out and it came up. Here's the only Cosmo. I don't think it will survive necessarily, just because I feel like the groundhog might eat it. Because this is what happened to the other Cosmo. There was 2 here and it killed one, and then this one came back and then it got eaten again. But I did put a ring of like repellent around. It's like peppermint oil, but I don't think this will come back. Here are all the zinnias in the middle aisle. Some areas where they didn't grow, but there's plenty, so that didn't really matter. But look, after 5 weeks we're getting little buds. There's a couple. I mean, there's some like tiny ones, and some bigger ones. And look at this one! It's the first bloom. It's looks a little like dry, but wow! I should cut it so that more grow. First one! Oh, that's a big old weed. Get out of there. My parents brought this rack thing, trellis, for these are the cucumbers that I'm training to go up. And look at, they grab on and I just climb up if you train them. Yeah, just the other day I noticed the little flowers and look how tiny. There's more back there. And so most of what you see here is pumpkins. All along here, different kinds, but their leaves are huge. Like, look at this leaf. One leaf, and there's so many. That's why I knew I didn't have to worry about like weeding, because no weeds are gonna grow under these leaves. But I haven't seen any like pumpkins yet. I don't know when you see that. I see like little flowery things, but I keep looking. It's hard to see under the leaves, so they could be under there. And so besides the cosmos, the other thing that the woodchuck is eating is sunflowers, which are along the edge here. You can see some taller ones over there. There are some in here that are trying to compete, I'm sorry, with the, there's another one right here, with the pumpkins. The woodchuck or somebody has been eating like all the little leaves, but I think the bigger ones are okay, they're safe. These are the biggest ones at the end. And look, so cool. The pumpkins that have more of like a vine, I'm making sure they come out this way so they can just go out on the grass instead of into the zinnias, because it's kind of a mess right there. A little close, but ready? Okay, first zinnia harvest ever of our own garden. That sounded like it. Okay, put right down here so that more buds can come. Wow. For you, Sa? Yeah, and then I'll get the other one. Here's the other one. the second one. Careful. Yeah, I mean the other one. Okay, that's all. So up to this point, the cucumbers have all been pretty small, but they've been growing a little by little, and they've been really cute. And today I was watering, and I just like happened to glance over, and on the ground was this. It's like bigger than my head. Huge cucumber. First harvest of cucumbers. I've been harvesting some zinnias, but that's it. And then I've got a big old cucumber. So cool. We went away for the weekend and a bunch of our sunflowers bloomed. You can see a couple. And some zinnias. Not many. That's not good lighting. Here's some of the pumpkin vines. I think the woodchuck's been eating it, but look. This little pumpkin. But look, he's just eating the tops off of things. Very annoying. There's another one. Whoa. Hello. Look at what he's eating. He's eating like all the little leaves off. So annoying. I think he lives in there somewhere. And then here's the cucumbers. I harvested the one and see there might be more ready now. I hear lots of bees. Might be kind of hard. Get in there. There's another little one. Oh, I found one. Woo! That one's ready. Here's what's left of the Cosmo after he keeps eating it. He ate the other two. And here's what's left of the basil. He ate that, and he ate this, and it's still alive. And he just started eating the tops of the carrots. So we'll see if we get that. And then there's the cherry tomato. He kind of ate that one right there. Nothing on here yet, but just... Oh yeah, there's some tiny little ones. Couple little flowers. So we'll get more. So here's my harvest. A couple zinnias. All the sunflowers, and look how big. These are the clippers, and look how big these cucumbers are. It's October 2nd, and we're having record heat right now. It's like 90 today and tomorrow. And then it's going to cool off, I think, into the 70s. And so I want to show what the garden looks like right now. I haven't picked the zinnias in maybe like 2 days. And the pumpkins are getting huge. And I just, I just found one red cherry tomato. There's so many, this plant is like huge. And there's so many green ones. And I just found the first red one. I'll show you. So this is how big the plant is, and see all the green ones, and there's the first little red one. How pretty is that? All the way in there's butterflies everywhere. This is the purple basil that survived. It got eaten once, but I guess technically the groundhog just pinched it for me, so now it's branched. I'm waiting for it to flower, but I don't know if it will. But in the meantime, it grew. This is what's left of the Cosmo. It tried to come back several times, so kudos to you, but apparently you taste really good to the groundhog. Here are the remains of the cucumbers. We had a lot of cucumbers. I made a lot of refrigerator pickles. I have to learn to actually can soon. But we got a lot, so good job. The leaves are starting to die back. They were huge and abundant. And now I'm starting to see if there were any pumpkins that I couldn't find in this mess. Here's one that I've been watching. It's turning orange. It was just all green and then it is so big. I'm so excited. I hope the woodchuck doesn't like somehow eat it. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I think this one might have popped off. Yeah. Bad. But this would have been cute, so down one. Here's a white one. I think the white ones are so cute. They just remind me of like little ghosts, little ghosties. But look how much he just chomps everything. Here's one of the cool squashes I got that's like orange and green. That's pretty big. And here's a, barely see, here's a smaller one. This was growing, like you can see the line, this was growing almost to the line, so I had to grab it and turn it so it started to grow back our way. Here's a fun orange one. Here you see this little bite marks, but that looks so good. Here's another one that's turning orange. I'm so excited. Here is a huge one. You can see my hand. It's turning orange. A bunny just, as I was walking in here, a bunny just tore out and ran that way and really freaked me out because I thought it was going to be the groundhog. And here's a nice one. See, this is how like dark green they start out. Nice. So this one I just discovered. I knew there might have been some in this little area, but it was just so dense right here that I couldn't see. Wow. It's October 6th. This is the first cherry, I kind of split it, first cherry tomato from our garden. From July, like 10th maybe, to October 6th. We got one. Tastes good. Right now we still have some cherry tomatoes left, which I've gotten maybe like 5 or 6 from. And still have a whole bunch of zinnias, and the pumpkins are looking so good. I think they're almost ready to harvest. Some of them might take a while until they're ready, but I might just have to harvest them. I don't know, because it's like getting kind of cold at night. So let's go take a look. So here's all the pumpkins. All the foliage is dying. There's one. Another one, another one, another one, another one. You can see him. So exciting. Look how big this is. See some red. This basil fell over from the heavy wind, so I think I'm just gonna cut it off. There's the cats. Right there, right there. Checking out the garden? Hi! Hanging out in the pumpkin patch? I just harvested some of the flowers and I put them in the different vases and different vessels that we have. And so I want to show you where I have them in our house. They aren't all from today. So basically what I do is every other day or so, I'll go out and just pretty much cut everything that's not like this short or that's open. And I bring them inside and I get rid of the dead ones in all of the vases and cut the old ones like a little bit off the end and change the water, and then I add in new flowers, and if there's way more then I'll get like another vase out and fill that. And so right now I have pretty much like all my vases full, and so I want to show you what they look like and where they are, and they look really nice. Sort of a little frost, and I checked the pumpkins and pretty much the leaves have been dying back and they're pretty much all dead. So I'm just gonna harvest them. I'm not really sure what I'm doing in terms of when to harvest, but some of them definitely are not done, like they're green. I'm just gonna harvest them anyway because it's getting too cold at night for them. Let's see. Here's what's left of the cherry tomatoes. I'm just gonna see if I can pick any. Not bad. A snail made its home on my trowel. I finally dug up the 3 carrots that survived. Look how tiny. Wait, there's another one. Let's see if I can show you. Ooh, not bad. The cherry tomatoes are no good. They're squishy. Here's what the zinnias look like. Pretty sad. Pretty much done. Made it through the frost because it had a leaf on top of it. Might be the only white one. That's all I can fit in this one, and then I'm going to put those in the wagon. Look at that! This one has been one of my favorite ones to watch because it's been right on the edge. And it's getting so orange. Alright. So these are all my pumpkins. 4 big jack-o'-lanterns, a couple in here, and then some cool freaking squash. So I'm not sure if we're gonna put in the sunroom or on the back deck. I feel like some of them have bugs in them.